Our next talk is from Mr. Adam Quirk.
Gin's history is weaved with our cultural history back from when we first discovered spices through the history of distillation and a bunch of other things that are not showing up on my notes for some reason. So 12,000 years ago, 10,000 BC, juniper thrives in pastures created by the first farmers as they cleared the primeval forests of Europe. And at this time, they were eating game. Juniper made their weird meat taste better, so they started eating it a lot. At this time, they also decided that juniper was magic, so they smoldered the branches, carried it around fields to protect livestock. A female spirit of the juniper tree called Frau Wacholder is invoked to make thieves return stolen goods. Around 50 AD, De Materia Medica describes how plants and herbs can be used for all kinds of stuff. They use juniper in the beaks of these weird masks that so-called doctors use to treat the victims of the Black Death. Jump forward about 700 years to the House of Wisdom in Baghdad. An alchemist called Jabir is really busy. He discovers like 20 different elements, basically invents the science of distillation, and creates this still called the alembic still. And he also starts distilling wine and calls it alcohol. He discovers that it makes your brain do weird things, and so alcohol means like a psychoactive substance and a finely refined substance. So 800 AD, the Baghdad science travels to Alexandria. That finally makes its way to Italy, and to the monasteries in Italy. These are bad notes. Crossroads. By the 11th century, those secrets of chemistry reached the most important center of medical science in Italy, Salerno. This is where juniper and distillation finally meet and fall in love and make gin. Compendium, 1055 AD. This is like the first proto-gin. This is the first recorded recipe where all these like 6 doctors say, oh, you distill this gin, or you distill juniper in wine, and it makes this good stuff. It's medicine, but it's delicious. Compendium Salernita in 1055, 6 doctors. Damn it. So at this point, they're, this guy does some stuff. Okay, this guy's good. Thomas Culpeper. In 1600, this guy says, like, oh, why not use juniper for everything? And he uses it for, like, farting and childbirth and, like, improving your memory. It basically prescribes juniper for, like, literally everything. Around this time, Europe's entering the global expansion of the spice race. The Dutch East India Company starts putting spices in their gin to help sailors, make it across the Pacific because they didn't have enough vitamins. Gin is your vitamin, basically. They get to India, there's a bunch of malaria. Like, oh shit, all right, so we have this cinchona tree is making quinine that cures malaria, but it tastes like shit, so we'll put gin in it. That's the first gin and tonic. So back to England. At this point, like, Londoners are basically drinking juniper in these weird little places where you can get like a haircut and bloodletting and a shot of gin for a penny. And then in the 18th century, gin makes its way into common society, and like people just go crazy and they drink it. National drunkenness ensues, and they have to propose a bunch of laws. So the backlash, gin. England proposes a bunch of laws. Gin goes underground. They open up these speakeasies, and Old Tom Gin. It's like this cat is in a window, and you like put a penny in the cat's mouth, and some guy inside pours a shot of gin down this tube. And then around this time, like 1,500 home distillers start working too, and juniper tastes a little bit like turpentine, so like, oh, this is cheaper. We'll just put turpentine in here, and no one died. That worked out really well. Then John Coffey invented this still, and it purified neutral spirits really well, continuous distillation, and that got away with some of the more malty, sweet, and the poison too. That gave rise to the London Dry Gin, and around that time, so it became a more pure, better flavored thing. So, hobos stopped drinking it, and middle class started drinking it in London. They were like, "Oh, this is fine to drink now." And now, that GIF worked, awesome. America, we're just like, oh, well, the hell with juniper, we can just do whatever we want. So now there's like herbal gin, floral gin, cucumber gin, and yeah, it's my favorite drink. So, and it will be yours next year.